steep grade up ahead, slow me down and making no time. I gotta keep on rolling. Those windshield wipers slapping out the tempo, breaking from the rhythm with the song on the radio. I gotta keep on rolling. I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me.
And coming live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome in on a Friday night, TNCRadio.live. This is Driver Nation. I'm Tom Kelly along with Steve from Rideshare, Rodeo, and Gary from Gary Zapp's going to be with you here for the next couple of hours talking all things in the gig economy. Big questions before us tonight, like, did Lyft blow it again? What?
Twice.
Uber managed to make a profit? What? We got all sorts of amazing things going on. And the number one reason you should sell all of your stocks now. And I'm serious. We'll talk about all of that tonight and more. Hey, Steve, what's going on, bud?
Not too much, man. I got through not got through it, but I'm done with piece one of the two pieces. I had the Mike Harubi live today for an afternoon. I think it went really well. We covered a lot in an hour, and I think that Gary's opinion, he can just keep to himself. But I know he thinks the content was good, but it wasn't helping him code, is what I think he was getting to. But I would say that every gig worker should listen to this.
All right.
Oh, I already said that. Everybody, if you're doing any gig work, go listen to that Mike interview, or not even interview. It's more like a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely go listen to it. It's just don't lay down in bed and listen to it.
He's saying it's like Bob Ross, but there's great information in there, guys.
Right. It's great information, but it's one of those things that to me, you need to know it, but it's not going to be very exciting to you to know it. So,
but I took all the
know.
hours to learn it.
Right.
And in 1 hour, I think Mike and I explained everything you'd need to know.
Yeah.
And then the topic was
staying independent contractors. Mike is newjobsamerica.com, and he wrote the legislation, be my own boss.
Okay. And that's nudejobsamerica.com. New. Oh, okay.
Newjobsamerica.com.
I thought you were saying Nude Jobs America for everybody who works.
No, in fact, Tom, sign up for his email, and everybody else sign up for his email on the website. And then, Tom, I'll hook him up with you. You should have him on a radio show.
Absolutely. Happy to have him on.
Yeah.
So, great. Okay. Gary, how are you doing this week, sir?
Pretty good. About to go down and see the wife on Sunday, so I've been working hard. Got Maximo updated today, DOH beta out today, and I'm doing good.
Okay, so this Sunday visiting hours at the prison, or yeah. Okay, good.
Why would she be in prison? Why wouldn't Gary be in prison?
She's the one who did it.
Well, they don't. I don't think they're going to let me live stream from a prison.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, you never know. Depends on what kind of prison it is.
Oh, maybe he was just talking about the state of Florida.
No, state of Florida is awesome. Everybody loves the state of Florida,
especially this time of year.
I didn't like living down there in Miami. That was hard for me, but I do love Florida.
Well, yeah, it does curtail the snow stuff just a little bit. It's hard to go snowboarding in Miami.
It's also just hard. Miami's just probably one of the hardest places in Florida to make work too.
You know what though?
Come into it blindly.
You can't actually snowboard and ski now in Florida.
I can't. I'd be so bored at whatever you're talking about. It would kill me, dude.
No, they have a resort down there now that I guess artificial snow or whatever. But
the Everglades?
No, it's a resort. But they have like ski slopes and things like that down there. Me. I've never been because, whenever I'm in Florida, I want it to be warm. I don't want to go somewhere with ice and snow.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, I think it's 80 degrees down there today.
Well, cool.
That's what Tom is every day.
No.
Well, it's, internally,
Yeah.
No, it's actually only got up to about 50 something today. And tomorrow we're going to be in the low 30s when we wake up, which for Houston, that's a BFD,
Mm-hmm.
How was your week, Tom?
Very busy, very good. Got lots going on. And we've got the big Mid-America Truck Show coming up here in a few weeks. So we're getting all prepped up for that. That's going to be in Louisville. They're expecting, get this, how many people do you think would be coming to a truck show?
400,000.
Did you say 400,000?
Yeah, you just got to overbid it, make it look small.
Yeah.
I don't know. 2,000.
56,000.
Okay, there you go.
56,000.
He said 200,000.
I said 400,000.
400,000. Geez.
Whatever. No.
That's still a lot of people, though. 56,000.
That's a ton.
That's a lot of people. So we're getting all set for that.
Also, what is the truck show, too?
What is a truck show?
No, I mean it's not. It's a showing of like semis. It's not monster trucks. It's
no. This is all
it's
industry, trucking industry.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's a really good turnout, probably for something like that.
Well, it's the biggest there is.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Be a lot of work. We'll be live there the last week of March, which probably means we won't have a broadcast on March 30th from here anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, that's been going on, and just kind of plowing through the weeks. You guys know how it is. Got a lot going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I tell you what, before we get too far started, I've done this with all of the other hosts. And so I need to take a few minutes and get your opinions. And I don't have YouTube open. So do we have
viewers?
Do we have people out there?
Yeah, we have viewers.
How about Rideshare Lisa? Is Rideshare Lisa around?
Nope.
She hadn't said hi yet.
Okay.
Lisa, say hi.
Yeah. I mean, she could be listening in the background.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I was checking. All right, so I'm set up now, and we got Steve and Gary. We've got the big game coming up this weekend, and it's very important that we have all the proper betting set up front. Some $16 billion expected to be bet this weekend. Which means there's going to be $8 billion of pain someplace, but $16 billion being bet. And so I have some very important questions for the two of you. I'll start with you, Steve. I know you know a lot about football. You've probably studied this game. You have some strong feelings about it one way or the other. So the very first question goes to you. Who will win the coin toss, Philadelphia or Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Gary, who do you think?
I was going to say Kansas City as well.
You're allowed to. Steve, this year, the national anthem, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze.
Achoo.
Bless you.
This year, the national anthem is being sung by Chris Stapleton, country western star, and he usually comes out and plays with just an acoustic guitar, one of those kinds of guys, has a rather large following. Over the course of the last 15 years, 7 times the Star Spangled Banner was sung in less than 2 minutes, 8 times it was sung in more than 2 minutes. The over-under for this rendition is 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Steve, will Chris Stapleton be over or under?
What's the high of those numbers in the low? Do you know it?
I don't know.
Okay.
But you got those who get and go,
over because of the state of the economy, especially. But over.
Got it. Yes, and that's a good reason. And Gary, how about you? Over or under 2 minutes 5 seconds?
I've never heard the guy sing.
You know who Chris Stapleton is?
Just base it on the fact of the ending. He's going to blow it up and hold that note.
Because I mean, like, some country singers they can't hold those notes like that. So, but yeah, I mean, okay, we'll go with over since Steve said over. 'Cause I don't know who that guy is.
All right, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a scoring drive, regardless of how long he ends up singing? Will there be a scoring drive shorter than it took to sing the national anthem?
No.
Steve says no.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Gary, I'll give you a piece of information. I think it was last game or one of the last games. Mahomes scored a touchdown, or they had a scoring drive that lasted 17 seconds. So it could happen.
Drives are tough on the Super Bowl.
This is true. Gary, I'm going to go with you first on this one. I know as a person who spent a lot of time studying the Super Bowl and its impact on America and all this kind of stuff, you've probably already started thinking about this. After the first play, whose commercial will air first, M&M's or Doritos?
I'm gonna go with M&M.
Okay.
Why are you ruling out Diddy and Uber?
I'm not saying they won't. I'm asking between those two, who will come first?
Diddy and Uber. I think they're going to save M&M for a minute. They're not going to put them right out.
You think?
So Steve's saying Doritos, and you're saying M&M.
Well, I'm really saying Diddy Uber, or I'm saying Uber.
Well, no, he's saying between those two, which one's going to go first?
Oh, which one will go? Okay, yeah, Doritos.
Okay. All right.
I mean, any commercial puts in their money for the Super Bowl. I think they're going to hold M&M.
Steve, a lot of people don't even know what I'm asking. When I'm asking this question, I'll be impressed if you do. Will any player in the Super Bowl score an octopus?
Is an octopus? I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing an octopus is a touchdown and a 2-point conversion by the same player.
Exactly. Very good, Steve.
Yes.
Yes. Steve
because I'm guessing most people said no, so I'm gonna go against that one.
Yeah, you get that right.
Gary, what is it again? It's when
you score a touchdown, like Travis Kelce, let's say, catches for a touchdown, and then they do a 2-point conversion, and they throw the ball to him again, so he scores.
Right. Instead of kicking the extra point, they go for the
but it has to be the same player. It has to be the
same player, same at the same time.
But often it is. I mean, dude,
often
you got a good receiver, a good running back. So
I don't know. I don't think so in the Super Bowl though.
Okay. So Gary's going to say no. That's okay. That's good. All right. A number of players, including Jalen Hurts and several others, have a uniform number less than 12. Many players have a uniform number, like Kelce and Mahomes, and those guys all have numbers 12 or greater. Who the over-under for scoring the first touchdown is 11.5. Will the jersey number of the person who scores the first touchdown be higher or lower than 11.5? Lower. Steve says lower.
Yeah, aren't most running backs and receivers lower numbers?
No.
No?
They're usually higher numbers, and it's usually the quarterback.
You never know. It could be any number for anybody.
I don't know the numbers for the team, so we'll go lower too.
Okay.
I mean, they go all the way up to like the 90s, Gary. So the Oberman.
All right. This is a very important question. We've got two left. Very important question. First one, let's see. I'll go with you first, Gary, on this. At the end of the game, they pour the bucket of Gatorade on the winning coach, right?
Right.
What color will the Gatorade be?
Orange.
Gary says orange. Now, that's a very interesting answer, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Steve.
Amazon piss.
Steve says lemon lime. It's an interesting answer because when Kansas City won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, it was the orange-red color, where usually it's either blue, power blue, or some team color or whatever. So in a way, Gary, you just predicted that Kansas City will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Okay. Finally, last question. It's the end of the game. And the MVP is brought up, and they say, congratulations, you're the MVP. You're going to Disney World. What do you have to say? And he says, first, I just want to thank, is he going to say God, my teammates, the fans, /city? Is he going to thank his parents? Is he going to thank his coach? Who is the MVP going to thank first?
But wait, can they call that they're going to say, I'm going to Disney World? Because it's not the interviewer that says it. It's always the player.
Whatever. Somebody's going to say that. This is who is he going to thank first? And the answer could be he never gets around to thanking anybody. He's going to, okay. Steve says he's going to thank his teammates. Yep. I couldn't have done it if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and then he'll get to the coach and all the other things. But the team as a whole first.
Gary, thank God first.
Gary says it's God. Yeah, most of it. I just want to thank the Lord for getting me here.
Yeah, so they say I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank.
That's like the one time you don't do that.
Yeah,
you do that at your other choppy games, not the Super Bowl. Dude. The Super Bowl, you thank the team, man.
I think that's how they scripted them players to talk after they get in.
All right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 TNC Radio hosts have weighed in on this. So we'll post up the answers someplace, and I'll give you guys the results next week, and see who nailed this. Steve, I think your answers are looking pretty strong, with the exception of the last one.
What the lemon lime or what?
No, who are they going to thank?
Oh, what do you think, God?
It depends on who wins. If it's Kansas City, it's going to be God. If it's Philadelphia, they're going to thank. They're going to thank. They're going to thank the city.
You can't have a two-part answer. You got to like us. You got to give one.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Philadelphia. I think they're going to thank the fans in the city.
Okay.
This all goes back to the fans of the city. Thank you.
Wait, can I change it to Rocky Balboa? Just kidding.
Yeah. No.
I want to thank Rocky.
Adrian! Cut me! All right, so that was all the important stuff, and I'm sure all of our listeners are sitting there going, you're all a bunch of idiots. The answer is, and if you really want to give us your answer, we'd love to hear it. Give us a call, 706-862-8620. That's 706-862-8620. Happy to accept your call and find out what you think are the right answers to some of the most critical sports questions there are. Last night, of course, yesterday was the end of the NBA trade deadline, and absolutely not a single trucker in America cared. Works that way. I'm sure somebody did. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. On this morning's program, we said, did you hear about the big trade? I did. In other news, we just moved right on. We didn't even say what it was. So.
Okay. So, hey, did you guys do final predictions on the score, by the way?
Well, we didn't. We're having too much fun with the other stuff. We're doing all the prop bet stuff. Yeah, leave that to the guys who.
Okay, but can I add this just for us?
You may.
Let's predict the final score without saying who you think even wins. But the final score, and it can go either way then. But you in your head might know why you're picking that, but pick it.
Okay.
And let's not tell each other why or who we even think is going to win. Just the scores.
Okay.
Okay. I'll say I'm going to go with. I said an octopus. Oh man.
Hey, you got to get that 2-point conversion in there.
Well, it's closest to. So I'm going to say 27-17.
Oh, we were very close. I was going to say 27-13.
That's 27-13. And
You didn't Bob Barker me and go up one, so you're good.
Yeah. I'm going to say 27-14. No, I'm going to say
it's strange. It's strange that we thought of 27 though.
I'm going to say it's going to be 31-13.
Josh B has 34-13.
There you go.
Chat.
See, I don't really know what mine is yet because they haven't posted which squares I have.
So, like Josh, it seems like we're all in the same over/under area, though.
Mm-hmm.
I see Kevin, Josh, Gary's like we're all pretty close in that the total of the over/under for the game would be. So,
yep. And remember, August the 20th of last year, I said the Eagles would go all the way. And I'm not really an Eagles fan. That was just based on the kind of off season I thought they had and where the team was. And
you don't like Rocky?
Not particularly, but
dude, when I don't know if I told you, but when I was there, I mean, I've been to Philly before to do just trade shows for like Toyota with the laser company. But when I was there for the Elton John shows just prior to the pandemic, and I was working them, one of the dark days I went over to the Rocky Monument. I didn't really know that it was like a real thing. Like, I'm surprised they took a movie and like in a main part of the city put a statue to this guy. It's a movie character, guys.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but he wrote that whole script himself.
Oh my gosh. I went to the bathroom today all by myself.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's impressive because I didn't think he was like he didn't come off as a writer.
There's not much script in it. Have you heard the?
Well, I know that. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, you got to write it a little bit, but I'm just saying, like, and he sold it too. He sold it off too.
And that gets you a statue standing like this in front of the. in front of like historical buildings. Okay.
Well, most actors though in their hometown have some kind of mural for them, whether it's a painted wall, statue, something.
There'd be a lot of murals, man.
Yeah. Like Philly, go to Philly. Will Smith got this big old wall, with the painted and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. Well, did you know there's a Braveheart statue in Scotland that looks like Mel Gibson?
No, did not know that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah, it actually does look weird too. Did you look it up, Steve?
So yeah, I've got a picture of me next to it,
and it has freedom at the bottom of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freedom. And what's funny is there's so much historical inaccuracy in that movie that it's
yeah,
funny. But
like they actually looked like they had been cut up when they get to those fighting scenes and they're in the meadow. Like they look like they've just walked out of out of a spa. We're so clean. Like they're wearing this beat up. I'm like, dude, they were probably missing all their teeth.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. Hey, we got to take a break on the radio side. We'll be back in just a minute. You're listening to TNCRadio.live. It's a Friday night, gig economy, and all sorts of fun things. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and neither should you. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, about a minute and a half here. A little bit more.
So I'll jump into chat. I'm being good about this. I'm being really good. I might have to do this on Thursday too.
You can.
I know, but then people are gonna be like, "What the dick, man? He doesn't even talk to us."
No, because I highlight it.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Gary? What's up, Josh?
That's not why they think you're a dick, but that's
what's up, Kevin Hawthorne? Hi, Donna. How are you? What's up, DS Entertainment Network? Guys, that is my friend up in Boston. What's up, Mars Garden? That's Marissa. What's up, Kevin? I think I would pronounce this wrong. What is this? Cullen. Why am I not reading this right? S. Cullen tells one.
I don't even see who you're looking at.
He's asking a Curry question in here, or she, whoever it is.
Oh.
And I'll get back to it. But
That's
no.
That's lentils.
What's up, Cherry? What's up, Lisa? How are you? Not Rideshare Lisa, Tom, the other Lisa. What's up, Rodney? How are you? So I want to look at this question though, Steve. Can you give me any tips on how to get more Curry offers? I get 2 to 3 days. I get one every 2 to 3 days. Okay.
Right.
I don't know where you're at, and I don't know what kind of vehicle you drive.
The answer is no. You don't have to park near a warehouse because it's not going to guarantee you get anything.
Right. I mean, really like location is used, but the way they do their round robin, it's really more based on the size of your vehicle and the number of rides you've done. So if you've completed more, though, I will tell you this, that if you I always say this, I don't say this about most platforms at all. I say only take the good offers, but on Curry, even if in the beginning, if you're driving a car or an SUV and they don't look like to be the greatest ones, get a few under your belt. I guarantee you will start to get more. In fact, I have owed Alice from Curry a lunch. She lives like 30 miles from me or 25 miles from me. I've owed her a lunch for a while, and I just texted her before the show and I said, "Hey, let's have lunch next week because I have some things I want to talk to her about too." And I said, "Let's have lunch tomorrow."
Coming back on the radio side, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back in TNCRadio.live on a Friday night. This is Driver Nation. I'm Tom. He's Gary. He's Steve. And we're also simulcasting right now on YouTube. Just go to the Rideshare Rodeo channel on YouTube, and you can see our smiling faces. And but not if you're driving. If you're driving, it's the radio. If you're at home kicking back,
unless you got a Tesla and you don't care.
That's
and
also
you have it in what is it, beta mode?
Beta.
As long as you have a beta in, so that they're not responsible. And I mean, they even give you a 22-inch TV right in the middle of the damn thing. So.
You sent me that thing today, Steve.
It came out today. I thought it was funny because it came out of the gate by almost saying unrealistic.
Yeah,
it impressed me a little. I was kind of
it finished with it's realistic, but only if everybody else does it our way.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so if everybody does it our way, it will work just fine. Of course, there's still so many things that they left out there, and so even in the start, I did like how because if you watch the first 3 or 4 minutes of it and stop, that's actually a pretty good breakdown. At that point, they're like, "Look, it's not going to happen. Look at our charging stations. We can't accommodate much more." And I mean, they're going through it just quick at a surface level too. We've deep dived it on this show. Yeah, take it up
to the surface level, and they're like, "No, this isn't doable."
Yeah, when the guy starts talking about our Lord and Savior Elon Musk, at that point, it should be getting kind of a clue that perhaps this is going to go in a particular direction.
They're all programmed on a certain date to drive to the Scientology buildings. You'll meet Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that was. Elon Musk is all about efficiency. Yes, okay. Never heard that before today, but
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's also, I found this interesting. I was dealing with some Twitter stuff this week, and I used to be on Twitter a ton. I still am, but not nearly like I used to. But when I need to find some of the news, like I was researching for today and for the 22nd, I do go to Twitter. And one of the people I know really well was like, "Well, this is stupid." So she had followed like 10 accounts. She had followed like 10 accounts or 11 accounts today, and it popped up a thing saying you've fulfilled your quota for the week following new accounts. Now she has like 4,000 followers and like follows like 2,000. I was thinking, what? Why can't she? Like, I never remember that being on Twitter, and now it's under Elon's control, and like it seems like the last thing he'd do. If anything, people were damaged by the damage done before Elon took over Twitter. And I'm not saying he's the best answer to Twitter, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was.
Maybe they didn't like who she was following. Okay, you follow 10 liberals. That's your quota for the week. If you want to follow Fox News and some others, you can keep going. But
she's actually an ex-stripper here in Denver that Gary and I have been trying to get on this. We were trying to get her on the Sunday Fun Day show when we were doing it. So
yeah,
I'm still trying to get her to find a date to do it because she interviewed Denver Dolls. There's a whole story here that we want to dissect with her. But she's pretty well liked in the community. She runs a podcast. She runs a clean game now, and no hooking, no prostituting, no.
Okay, and she's on that Nude Jobs America thing.
Nude Jobs America. I wonder if that's actually a site. Don't send people there, man. It's like a nudist camp somewhere. We need a school built. What? Not going around power tools naked.
Yeah, luckily, we got Gary to put on a shirt before the show started, so that was good.
I don't think Gary knows his mic is muted.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's not tell him. I was going to see if he could go the rest of the show.
I was going to say it's not a real site.
Okay. But yeah,
it is now.
Where are we at? 5:30. Okay, let's see. Let's pull up a story, man. There's some stuff that happened.
There is. So
last night was
Lyft and Uber both reported this week.
Or our 1-year anniversary.
What's that?
Our 1-year anniversary of the Rodeo Roundtable was last night. We've never had a Thursday missed. I've missed a couple. Gary has. Hannibal has. Kim hasn't, but Kim came in a little bit later too. But nonetheless, like it's always gone, even if I missed the couple that I have and whatnot. So it was like our 1 year of doing it. We threw out a lot of news, I feel like, last night. But yeah, and I also wanted to say one quick thing to Gary, because Gary and I did a thing with Tremaine this week where, like, for the first hour 15, I was doing this, what I think Tremaine Hey Ho Studios should be doing to plug their movies and what he could do to better market and some strategies. And then Gary came in because he was asking about Nap, and Gary actually was, giving him good. I thought your advice, like about the Indiegogo
page,
was spot on. Dude, I went to the page, like, as you were saying it, and I guarantee that's what the guy's problem was.
I bet you it
was that the same thing that you said. He just scrolled to the bottom and he's like, why can't I touch these? And so I was touching them going, oh, I thought it was stupid that they had it doubled. I don't like that on any site anyway.
Right.
Like when you have two sections.
Like I said, the first time I went there, I scrolled down, I clicked on the bottom and it wasn't clicking. I was like, what? So I scrolled back up to the top and I had to click one of those.
But something happened and Tremaine asked Gary, how long you known Steve for? And I was like kind of going, wonder if he's gonna get this right. And he didn't get it at all right.
No.
Yeah, he was like, I've known him about a year, I think, because we're doing the year anniversary tonight or tomorrow night, and
I said about a year. It could be a little bit over a year.
But it was actually, dude, and there's two instances I'll bring up. So there was my first video dropped on YouTube. I came over from and you might not even remember this, but I was just coming over as the driver advocate at Para. The app had blown up. Like they had let the world into the chat. And so like there were 14-year-old boys posting like horse penises and stuff. I mean, it was out of control, dude. I'm like, this isn't controllable. It just needs to be shut down all the way across. But I got on YouTube. I did a podcast with Jason Thierry, posted it, and I didn't even know you. And I remember you commented in the comments, and you're like, well, something relating to duh. What about duh? And I was like, what the hell's duh? And you're like, dude, you work for Power and you don't even know what duh is. I'm like, I like this guy. Like, man. So like we replied back on that thread, but that was your initial opening to me. And Like a month later, we did a podcast.
Saying Steve didn't know shit.
But a month later, we did a podcast then too.
Actually, I don't remember how long. I've known you a while.
Remember, because actually that's what I'm saying. So it's actually like July. So it's only over a year and a half even. But what the podcast, even like when we went back and rewatched it, you're like, why am I not looking at the camera? I remember this too. Like the camera was over here, and I just thought that's how you had it set up.
The camera was like on my other monitor. Yeah.
Whatever. But you're like, why is that doing that? It should be right in front of me. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, because like the other camera I had, like, I don't know, it was weird because I had it on like the other monitor. It should have picked up like me looking directly at it, but it didn't. Now I just don't care. I look wherever I want. Yep. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 devices in front of me. So
when you say devices, what do you mean?
Well, I got 4 computer monitors, a tablet, a laptop, 5 phones.
Yeah, I got you, Soapy.
He calls it the intro to ADD room.
You've seen pictures of my place, haven't you?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen that room. I've seen that room in bigger angle and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do a Cribs edition when we let's walk around.
That'll work. Yeah. So why not?
Hey, can we talk about Lyft?
No.
And Lyft equals gutter.
Well, Lyft and Uber both posted this week, and so and very different results. Mm-hmm. Lyft. Well, I haven't seen today. I know as of last night, they were down. Their stock price was down another 30% from where it opened yesterday.
Hold on. Real quick about this, Steve. Check this out. What did I say the price was on Thursday? $16, $16.36 or something like that on Thursday. Yep. It is now $10.31.
Yes. Yeah. And Gary, that's after they reported earnings on Tuesday. And remember we talked about the after hours trading, which never gets up that high. The after hours trading on Tuesday dropped 30% of its value. So on Thursday, we were talking about that number, already 30% drop. They had like a 34% drop today. I mean, we're looking at Tuesday. They'll be out of business.
In the last 5 days, they've had a 39% drop.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, let's all put a date down on when Lyft is done.
Yeah, but I think you're a little bit confused. Uber reported on Tuesday. Lyft reported yesterday.
Right.
Okay. Well, yesterday or Wednesday?
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
Okay. Well, regardless, when we did the show, the reportings were already in, and so were the after-hour losses. So it was. Yeah,
they're at 1031 right now, down 36.44% today.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how this company's coming back. I mean, I see a couple things they're doing, but I'm just like, I literally am like, why?
I thought we already had
be selling everything off right now, dude.
They're down 87% since they went public.
I think they should attack Instacart. And the winner gets both.
They just have
the loser gets both.
The CEOs can just, box or something for it.
Yeah. Isn't the CEO of Instacart now a woman?
Probably can still take Lyft. I'm just saying.
Okay, that'd be a good. I'd pay for that. So cage match.
Cage match. Lyft is just tanking. It's going down, 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 and down. I don't see a recovery on it.
And Gary, we talked about this, about how we just think literally Uber's just sitting back going, "Hey man, things aren't that," because those earnings are a little deceptive from Uber, and we went through this last night. Well, if you actually break it down, deceptive. You might not be in a profit, but however, we did come to the conclusion, hey man, they're doing way better than they've ever done.
Yeah, they're doing better than they've done. They're doing better than any other public rideshare company out there.
You mean Lyft?
Yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, so even if it's not like the profit that they quite say, let's say, or whatever, and we already know the profits were earned on investments, not on the rideshare. But we went through some stats. I don't have them in front of me right now, but it was like, 2.1 billion rides, and they forecasted 1.7 or 1.7 billion was their high until now. That's pretty big. I mean, that's a stat you can actually sink in, because during the pandemic, things got difficult. Payments went rowdy.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many rides are being taken it was hard to tell. There weren't many rides being taken. Things were all skewed up. Now this is the most rides ever in a quarter. I mean, that's pretty huge. And Lyft, I mean, just if you look at Lyft's sheet, no wonder it's sold off so hard today on a Friday going into the weekend, because after the week and earnings report they had, I mean, why? I don't know, if I owned Lyft, I would have sold everything on right at the probably would have sold it months or year, a long time ago. But I definitely would have sold it after the earnings report.
Guys, yesterday we interviewed Harry Dent, who's been on CNBC, CNN, Fox Business, all these different places, and he has a long history of predicting what's going to happen financially, kind of a different take on where some people are, in that he's a firm believer that you can predict what's going on because it's what's always gone on. And there's no amount of Fed lifting interest rates and all that kind of stuff that's going to change the fact that we've got a major downturn in the economy coming later this year and into next. Mm-hmm. And he has liquidated his entire position, all stocks. Everything is now in bonds or cash. And basically, I've done the same thing. Take it, I have no hunt, no dog in the hunt whatsoever. Get out of all stocks.
Yeah,
everything.
I mean,
we're going to go. And 18 months from now, if you hold on to your money, okay, you go put it in bonds and safe places right now. 18 months from now, you're going to be able to buy these stocks at pennies on the pound. We're going to see a downturn in the stock market that like we've never seen. We're talking 1930s style downturn in the market.
I don't know if you've noticed too, Tom, but I mean, most people I love it when people. I mean, you can get a snapshot when you say, "Oh, the Dow's up today, the Nasdaq's down," but you know what you really have to look at? How many shares were traded that day.
Mm-hmm.
So if like 1/10 of the shares are traded, but they're up, they're not up.
Mm-mm.
They're not up at all. That just means some hedge fund people bought some stocks and sold them back off. That's the volume that was done. That's it.
So, I just, I know, I'm trying to put this gently. I know that, because of what we do and everything, a lot of us don't have 401ks. But if you do, move the money out of whatever program you have it in right now, put it over into anything that's, munis or Fed or whatever, and
hole in the backyard,
something safer.
The hole in the backyard is safer than Lyft stock right now. Seriously, it is. And a lot of these companies are not going to survive, and that's okay. We have to do this every so often. We have to let the bad companies die, and we should not be looking at the government to bail some of these companies out. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think every bank is going to make it through this. It's going to be really, really rough.
I think the sign right now for the two are Instacart and Lyft, but I think the big sign that they're failing beyond belief is, both of Instacart had already kind of been doing this, but they're going as full blown as they can at SNAP programs, supplemental nutrition programs, and at EBT. So they're basically and there's nothing wrong with that. They're basically going after the lower income areas. And I think that just kind of speaks volumes. I'll get to in a second, I'll come back around to it. And then Lyft is doing the same thing. I saw in an article today that they're starting to move into SNAP and EBT. And I'm wondering, is this like your attempt to have any cities save you? So like my thought now is like, maybe Instacart and Lyft will be like that rideshare that's only in a few cities. Because, you know, you always hear about some markets that dominate by Lyft, let's say.
Right.
And maybe there they'll stay. I mean, maybe Lyft will become the type company where we're not everywhere anymore, guys.
Well, Lyft was trying to expand at one point. I know there was U.S.,
they got to Canada.
And then they did a couple places overseas, but then they pulled those back pretty quickly.
Yep.
You know, they're like, we can't afford to do that right at this moment.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think they tried Mexico too.
I don't think they're ever gonna catch Uber ever in anybody's lifetime,
dude.
Yeah.
And maybe if they bring back the pink mustache and put mustache rides on the side, maybe.
Well, and we talked about this before. You know, they have to be content with being second. They just have to. Mm-hmm. Let Uber and all the big guys.
They're not going to be second. They're not going to be second.
Well, right now they're currently second. So be okay with second. Stop blowing all your money on these legal fights for the cities. Let the bigger companies do that. Let DoorDash do that. Let Uber do that. And whoever else wants to do that. Stop blowing that money that you don't have.
Yeah, they're going to be on these regulations. They're going to be 15th. Got to take a break on the radio side real quick. We'll be back in just a minute. TNCRadio.live. Stay tuned.
Smack that like, y'all. And hey, also, guys, I've been meaning to say this on the start of every show, but we said this a few weeks back. And if you don't mind, if you're watching on the YouTube side, launch a tab on your browser for TNCRadio.live. Hit play. Hit play on that, and then just mute it. And you can still watch us over here on the other tab, but have it playing so that Tom's getting some watch time hours for these too.
You betcha.
Because that helps. And if you can, I know some people are in their cars working and stuff, but if you're at home, if you're near a computer, if you're able to, that would be cool.
Yeah.
So,
and we are available on Alexa and all those she heard me.
She's like, what, Tom? What do you mean?
Alexa, stop. And all these other platforms too. You can find us on Roku TV, and just all sorts of places. I think we're on 4,000 different devices now.
Oh, so okay. I want to say, so the person that asked me about Curry, I see that you drive a Toyota Prius in Houston, so you're in Tom's market.
Well, that's the problem. I get all the curry. I'm first up for all curry.
But number one, I would say, it's not a bad thing. Luckily you're not on the waiting list, but you're in a Toyota Prius. So I would say take a few for sure right away. Just get some under your belt right away. Because part of Curry is they want to see you do some work before they really send you good jobs. But again, I didn't get to say it before we come back on the other side. Since it didn't involve them, I was holding on to it. I'm going to be talking with Alice next week and buying her lunch. And in fact, when I invited her, I said, I wasn't even looking. And I said, hey, I owe you that lunch. Let's do it Tuesday. She said, Valentine's Day? Okay. I was like, wait, no. Like Wednesday.
She going to be like, what are you trying to do, Steve?
No, she was like pointing out how every place is gonna be booked, even for lunch, and it'll be more expensive. And she's like, "That's cool. You wanna?" I'm like, "No, Wednesday will work." But what's up, Roy? How are you?
I agree with that comment too.
What my answer to always cherry pick about meeting you at a strip club?
No, I didn't hear that. What'd you say? Are you jealous we left you out?
It's in the chat, man.
I know. I seen what he put that he met me, but I thought it must have been my double.
No, I said that wasn't Gary. That was Chumley from Pond's Place. They often get confused
with each other.
What's up, Rideshare Road Warrior Rick? How are you? And Mr. Noise.
Hey, Chumley's worth some money now.
What's up, Tony? How are you?
I thought he went to jail.
I don't know. He's still got a good net worth last time I checked.
Yeah, he got in big trouble for something, falsifying some record or something.
Yeah, he's worth $5 million right now.
Wait, you can't do that?
He owns a candy store in Vegas too.
Well, isn't that sweet?
Yeah. See what you did there.
We need a little snare drum.
I know, right?
Not a sound effect, a real one. There was something.
All right, coming back on the radio side here in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back in TNCRadio.live. We've got just a few minutes before we get to the top of the hour. Steve, what do we have that can fill in, say, 3 or 4 minutes here?
Let's talk about Massachusetts federal court. I like this. Massachusetts federal court denies franchisors' attorney fees request. Now, this story goes on to say, first of all, we know that Massachusetts is moving to the union W-2 model, but here's the first federal court judgment this year relating to anything independent contractorship-ish. And it a federal court in Massachusetts has denied a franchisor's summary judgment motion which sought attorney's fees related its defense of previously dismissed claims for individuals who operate 7-Eleven franchises pursuant to franchise agreements brought a putative class action against 7-Eleven, alleging that it wrongfully classified them as independent contractors instead of 7-Eleven employees.
Oh, my gosh.
They lost this case. I love it. They couldn't have lost in a better state to lose in because, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're all going, oh, my gosh, another dumb story. In this state, it matters. Because they just
franchise. It's a franchise. That's the whole point of a franchise.
I know.
What are we doing?
Well, you know what? We actually got really good news from Mike Ruby today, and I got to say, like, I have a lot of trust in this guy. I've known him for a while, and we've done a lot of on-off camera collabs, but we did one today on the channel. I think every gig worker needs to watch it. If you missed it today, go back and watch it. Gary thinks it was like watching Bob Ross paint, but I think he learned a thing or two too. I was pretty prepared for it, so I thought.
Say what you want to about Bob Ross. If you followed his instructions, you painted better.
Right, or he slept really good.
Slept really good.
If you stayed
yeah, I mean, so
you could draw a seagull better than just about anybody else, and a cloud. Oh my lord! You could draw.
So the franchise. So pursuant to the franchise agreement. Let's see, the wrongfully classified them as independent contractors instead of 7-Eleven employees in violation of Massachusetts independent contractor law and Massachusetts Wage Act. 7-Eleven counterclaimed for a declaratory judgment declaring that the franchise agreements are void if the franchisees are deemed employees. So now what? Now you're going to call them independent contractors, and their agreement says that if they aren't independent, or that they can't be, and if they aren't, they can't own the franchise. So now what?
Right.
I mean, seriously.
And that won't just be.
Is it going to be like a nonprofit now, run by the state? Is 7-Eleven being taken over? I mean, I don't know what they do. All
the franchisees that are out there, though, with similar wording, that's part of the idea of being. A franchisee.
I mean, that's from today. It's from a few hours ago, in fact, and it's big news, man. It's BS, man. I'm not going to say the bad words, but it's BS. It's BS beyond belief. I mean, because this kind of shows, I think, how the state in general will react.
Can you tell me? Okay, you said it was federal court that
federal court in Massachusetts.
Okay, but I mean, federal court is not under Massachusetts law; it's under federal law. So
it was a federal court case for Massachusetts. So
it doesn't matter,
right?
What state they were in.
What matters though is that it's setting a bad precedent right now in a state that already is planning on going completely the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. I saw this story as important because it's setting a very bad precedent.
That they tried, you mean?
Yeah, I mean that I even have to read a story this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This story shouldn't even be print. I mean, I'm glad it is. I'm glad I can read about it. That
Well,
it
but
happened.
it shows you, though, that a judge who's not under the influence of the state of Massachusetts can, make the right call. Hey, we got to run. We got about 10 seconds left on the radio side. We'll be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to TNCRadio.live, Friday night, Driver Nation. Stay tuned. All right, we're out on the radio side for 5 minutes.
Okay. Let me do a quick Para and Middleton commercial. I got a few.
Do that, and I'll be back.
You guys are going to get some commercials, and guess what, guys? I've already put this out there, but all of you in here, everybody in here, if you have a YouTube channel and you want to submit a 30-second video, we will play them. We're trying to get it so that when Tom goes to radio break, we're going to go to break here too, so that we're not mixing up the conversation between the radio and here, and some people are left out on the radio side. So get us a little commercial plug on your channel. We'll play it. So until then, we'll just punish you with other ones you don't know. I'm just kidding. But so let's we got a few here. Let me see. I got a 46-second, 34, and then 123. I think that's about enough time. So let's do Paraworks and some Middleton stuff.
Paraworks is a new way for drivers to find high-paying job opportunities. You can claim these job offers to stack with your platform work and make your workday much more efficient and profitable. By uploading your gig work history and creating a Paraworks profile, you'll unlock access to better, higher-paying driving gigs in your area. When a Para partner tells us they need drivers, we make sure you're the right person for the job, then notify you immediately. If you like it, it's yours. Your work history is your resume. Make it work for you.
Are you a DoorDash delivery driver? Would you like to be safer and less stressed while driving and earn more at the same time? The Driver's Utility Helper app allows you to do just that. Create custom filters and its automated system does the work for you, automatically declining unwanted low-paying requests and accepting more profitable requests so you can focus on driving. Visit acceptordecline.com to get started today.
Meet Joe. He is a gig worker trying to make money using his car. He uses multiple gig apps all at the same time to maximize his earnings. But this can be difficult and dangerous while driving. Sometimes the requests come in so fast, Joe can't pick and choose the best trips to take, which can result in lower pay or lower rated disruptive passengers. That was until Joe found Maximo, the automation app that helps gig workers accept and decline trip requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and rating, to determine which trips are best suited for Joe. When a trip request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will compare the trip details to Joe's filters and then determine if it should automatically accept the trip, decline the trip, or allow Joe to decide by showing the per mile and per minute rates. When a trip has been accepted, Maximo will turn off the other apps that aren't on a trip. Once Joe finishes a trip, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to reduce his stress and frustration, drive safe, and focus on the important tasks. Check out Maximo at www.maximoapp.com.
Trying to peek around it.
Did you see that I ran both ads and
I've seen them both.
And I ran the Brandon's ex-wife or future ex-wife.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, the girl with the soup with the spaghetti bowl on her head and the cheese grater on her junk and the pan on her trunk. It's Brandon, Dashing Grandpa Brandon was watching, and he said, "Oh, my future ex-wife." That's very funny. Hey Gary, was it the other show, or did we show Tom the cruise video?
What cruise video?
The one where everybody thought something horrible was going to happen the way I said it. It just somebody taking a cruise and how long it was going to take. And
I don't even remember that video, to be honest with you.
Do we have a minute, Tom?
We have a minute.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna go in. Okay, ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna unlock.
Yeah, I was thinking a cruise ship is what I was thinking.
Okay. Hi there. Take a seat. Start your ride. So it's closed. We have to do that.
Oh. Okay. Seatbelts.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I'm buckled up. Are you buckled up?
Yeah, I'm buckled up.
Start ride.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh my god.
What? We're cruising.
A few things to remember during your ride.
Wild.
Please
Okay.
keep your seatbelt buckled. Always.
Oh my god, I'm scared. Wait.
Look at him moving. To end your ride early, press the larger red
This is insane.
Enjoy your ride.
What?
Oh my god. Our ride is so long.
So we're going to High Tops. Wait, how long is it?
Okay,
right.
I don't care. Oh, you got to bring us in.
Yeah, let me bring us in here. Well, now I put Gary's apps commercial up there, so I got 45 seconds. Keep going. Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say the 36 minutes for, I don't know if you saw that map. Obviously, it was San Francisco. That's where they allow these cars to kill people at will. In fact, I think they're programmed to take out 2 per night is their quota. But 36 minutes from where they were, I know San Francisco pretty well, and it can be a long while to get places, but that little distance, no way that would take 36 minutes. So I don't know what they're doing. They obviously have certain streets they can only use.
Okay, coming back here on the radio side in 3, 2, 1. Welcome in, hour 2, TNCRadio.live. This is Rideshare Rodeo. This is Rideshare Rodeo, but it's also Driver Nation, and we're Rideshare Rodeo on YouTube. So you can watch us, see us there, or you can listen to us on the radio here with TNCRadio.live. You can use our app, plug us in on your cell phone, however you want to do it. We're available on about 4,000 different devices, including smart devices and all that kind of good stuff. Download the skill, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be right there for you. So, guys, we were talking and looking at just before we came back here on the radio side, on the YouTube side, we were watching a couple take a ride in a driverless type Lyft car, Uber car in San Francisco, which, okay. To me, it's cute. It's a parlor trick, isn't that cute?
I'm thinking the same. That's why I was saying the 36 minutes. I think that they go from, because they're talking about where they showed was North Beach, just south of the Golden Gate, which also can take you down to right near Fisherman's Wharf. And where they was somewhere around, up on the hill there. So I'm thinking that's the only area it services. So it doesn't even service the whole city. It just kind of takes you in that triangle.
Right.
Which kind of fits with a lot of things San Francisco does. It has the cable cars that only do certain things. And so they're a very, I don't know who's the team that oversees traffic and all that, and the timing of lights and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, look, if you can get me from, the far side of Fisherman's Wharf up the hill to Ghirardelli's chocolate place, yeah, then I'm good.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all.
that's at the top of the wharf. You just walk.
Not at my age, man.
It's right there, man.
I know it is.
Yeah, my dad used to. There's a place, I don't know if you know it, Tom, called the Buena Vista. Have you ever heard of this place?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's right there at where the cable car turnaround is.
Right.
And obviously, guys, it didn't invent this, but in the United States, it is known as the first place to dub Irish coffee, hot Irish coffee whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got this bar where they literally, you'll see like at brunch, lunch, they're only open till about 7, but all through the day, you'll see these rail bars that are filled with like 70 of these things. They're just, there's 2 people that their only job is to make these all day. That's all they do.
Well, it's a living.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was a favorite place of my dad's. He passed away, but we used to, whenever we'd meet up or we'd be out there, we would a few different times. That was like a favorite place of his. He liked looking out over the bay there, and right there by the cable cars. He thought that spot was pretty cool, and we would have a few too many of those and stumble somewhere else. In the old days, I don't do that anymore.
Right. In the old days. Let's see. Let me flip my screen over here. If you're going to talk about San Francisco restaurants, the one thing, Steve, that you probably know about, but a lot of people haven't heard, it'd be interesting to see what kind of reaction I get to this. Let's see. Oh, it's over here. And present. Share screen. Share screen. The Stinking Rose. Best restaurant anywhere.
I was like, that looks like a good restaurant.
Where is it in San Francisco? It's down on the wharf.
Columbus Avenue.
Columbus Avenue.
Okay.
So the Stinking Rose. Let me pull up the menu here.
So is that that's like up on the hill, like near Pacific Heights and stuff?
Yeah, I'll have to trust you on that. I don't remember its relative location, but their site is incredibly slow. I don't know what's going on over there. But the Stinking Rose, the really cool thing about it is it's a garlic restaurant.
Okay.
Everything is garlic. Everything.
Yeah.
The garlic salad dressing, garlic pork chops, along with the garlic applesauce, and yes, even for dessert, garlic ice cream. It's not.
So, last quick comment about San Francisco. Tom, you'll know this. At Pier 39, how there's a lot of street performers.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there is all up and down the wharf, but at Pier 39 especially, there's a lot. And then there's a lot that veer into Pier 39, but not down to the most expensive restaurants. And there's a lot of security in there that deals with it. Our friend Dark Road Run, Joe, put on a chicken suit and a helmet and had these light up boards that said Uber. And he went and tried to get in the Uber building, and they wouldn't let him in. The follow-up to that is that same night he ran down to the pier and tried to get onto Pier 39, and there was this Hispanic guy that didn't speak English good, and he was in security, and he's going, "You can't come in here." And he's like, "Well, there's street performers right there." He's like, performer. And he's like, "I'm in a chicken suit with a sign."
Yeah, I mean,
why is he a performer, but my chicken suit ain't performing? You don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I have a whole chicken routine. I don't know. But can we bash on Instacart for a few minutes?
Don't we always bash?
Yeah, that's what I said. Though.
Usual.
I said I'm going to do it every week.
I'm kind of confused by that. That's not something we normally do, but I guess if you want to this time, that would be all right.
So, I mean, we know there's a lot of TikTokers trying to get some, exploit some things going on. But again, this one, I bring it up because this one is related again to a Kroger. So and then I'll get around to what that means, because there are people like this person says people are like, she thought she had stuff of hers taken before, the Instacart shopper. But this time there were like 3 things in there and her groceries that she absolutely did not order. Like she said, like pork fresh hawks. And she said, I don't even know what to do with these. Like, so definitely didn't order them, whatever. And so the claim is that she said, I've had people add things and I found out about it and I've been dealing with it, but now they accidentally forgot to pull them out of the bag. So somebody added 3 items to the order, forgot to pull it out of the bag as their own stuff that they stole from her and delivered it to her instead. And I mention this because in Colorado, like a few weeks ago, we talked on the roundtable and we told everybody, look, Instacart, there's 2 Kroger locations that Instacart is banned from that happened that week. They can no longer, Instacart shoppers can't go into those 2 stores because too many people, they were getting very confused and the store managers wanted to very deeply investigate, meaning more than one shopper was stealing. They had reports on this, the upcharging. They've been getting very fed up. Well, now Kroger nationwide is looking at this program. Now, they already instituted it in Colorado, and the ads are unreal. So the ads are, I'm just going to paraphrase it because it's a lot easier, but there's a bunch of different ads running, and they basically get around to the point of, look, we're sorry about everything that's happened till now. We're sorry you've been upcharged on your prices. We're sorry that you've been charged ridiculous amounts for delivery and service fees. We're sorry you've had bad service. From now on, $7.99, same day delivery within 4 hours. And their biggest bloat, in-store prices, digital coupons usable. So you can get the groceries that you would go shop and pay for at any Kroger in Colorado, and you can get it delivered the same day for $7.99, no other fees. That's it. And you get in-store prices. So Kroger is making a move to say, bye-bye, Instacart.
Yeah, we said this once before, though. Everybody's going to eventually say bye-bye Instacart because it's...
But Kroger's not small, dude.
But I know, that's what I'm saying. They're all going to do it, though. I mean,
yeah.
Walmart, they don't use Instacart anymore that I know of.
Right, but Walmart replaced it with another thing, like Kroger's,
right. And Kroger replaced it with their own delivery service.
Right, and that's
that's the same thing Walmart did. Target did that with Shipt.
But I mean, they're still using, dude. You can still get Walmart orders through Uber Eats, though.
Only until the contract's up.
Right, I know, but I mean, but then there's Spark.
Away.
There's another app. Like right now, I can't. It's already happening.
Well, no, there's not another app because you don't order your Walmart on Spark app. You order it on Walmart.com and then
you say right, yeah. But they're using app drivers,
right? But it's just like Kroger too. Kroger's just using employees, but it's
that's
the same
point.
thing. Walmart has their own delivery employees as well. They have the little vans that drive around. Yeah, I've seen them.
Right, but I'm saying in a lot of locations they use Spark, which is theirs as well. I get it. But I'm saying like the employees have nothing to lose. Like if there's crap orders, they don't care because they're getting paid for the time now. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And they're going to get the same pay anyway, regardless. So this is going to make people not be selective on orders. They'll probably be able to stack orders, send somebody out with 4 and have them all delivered in an hour. Basically, I mean, it's just like, here's my question. Why would you even open the Instacart app in Colorado? In Colorado, Kroger's are King Soopers and City Markets. And King Soopers is as big out here as Safeway is. So why would you even open the Instacart app if on the Kroger app you're getting in-store pricing and $7.99 flat? Why would you even look at 10 to 30% per item marked up? Service fee, processing fee, delivery fee, tip, blah, 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 blah. Hey, we're going to rip the crap out of you. Why would you even open it?
Well, that's what I was saying is everybody's doing that, though. Everybody's phasing out Instacart.
So bye-bye, Instacart.
Yeah, I mean, That's probably why their evaluation keeps dropping.
Yeah, but unlike Lyft, they're still not even public in the values. Probably going as quick as Lyft is my guess.
Probably.
I mean,
do you mind if I push in the clutch here and bring up a different subject, Steve?
Go.
You've been in the bartender industry, working bars and so forth for a number of years. Not doing that much right now, but yeah, you know, long time. And you get that pretty fun night when somebody tips you real big, and kind of a night when, you know, you look in the tip jar and there's $3. But have you tracked it all what the IRS has been pushing this week, and what we're going to be seeing as far as the IRS getting in on tracking your tips?
Yeah, and I actually am beyond mad because it even goes, they're using the Fair Labor Standards Act in like the Illinois case, and so they're saying everybody's going to be paid for every hour over 40, and they're like, except for, and all they listed was every service industry job.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's pathetic, dude. Last night we called them out. We were like, fair labor standards. This is actually unfair labor standards. It's the opposite of what it's called.
Okay, so are you familiar with this? Let's see, what do they call it? Service Industry Tip Compliance Agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple things on it. I'm guessing you know maybe a little more on it than me.
I've just been tracking the last couple of days here because it's been getting a lot of press this week.
It's another way for. I mean, look at they're trying to take. They don't. Here's the way I see
it. Let's explain it for a second for those who don't know what we're talking about. Is that up to this point, it's always kind of been a honor system, if you will. And I made $10,000 in tips
with cash. With the credit card, you really can't get around it.
Well, up till now you could, because they didn't actually compare it, but now they are going to start comparing it. So if you said in the month of May, I made $100 in tips, they've got the system now that they can look and say, no, we looked on using this new tool we have, and you did at least $110 in tips.
Well, I can attest to all the way back to the late 90s, the POS systems. I mean, even as a manager, an owner, all the roles that I've had, bartending, like you can't run a credit card that has a tip on the credit card and get around it unless you assign it to another server, but they're not going to pick it up on the POS. So you're going to have to declare. I mean, let's be honest. Every server and bartender I ever knew declared like $1 cash tip, and then every one of their credit card tips.
Right.
I don't know any bartender and that the government doesn't like, because they're like, dude, we know you get cash tips. Of course we do, but we're not going to tell you. Because that we don't have to. I mean, we are supposed to, but we're not going to tell you. Of course not.
Well, now the IRS and their new 87,000 agents who are going to be out enforcing all of this have a whole new set of rules that make assumptions about how much cash tip goes on in a particular location, and how much they believe people are tipping there, and all. So basically, they can say, "No, you didn't. That your tips were higher than what you reported," and come after you for more of all that. And Steve, we know that there are some people who take $110 bill and, round it up to 112, and that's the tip.
I mean, I've had my nights where I worked a 6-hour shift, and like you were saying, like, let's call it a Tuesday, and it's bad weather, and there's no Rockies aren't in season. It's winter. It's like the night you don't want to be working, and you cut the other bartender and you make like $110. But I've had bartenders from 2 other bars that got cut early come into my bar as like 5-6 bartenders, do a bunch of shots, whatever, leave $200 cash tip. They just made my night.
Well, but then you got the waiters and waitresses who have to tip out the bartender and all that kind of stuff. And, for some of them, there are some nights where it's really bad. But That part gets ignored.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the IRS instead wants to make sure that Shirley at Denny's or, Mike at BJ's restaurant or whatever, that they're going to be paying their fair share and all this kind of stuff. When we have out of control spending in the country, we don't have a problem getting tax money. That's not our problem in this country. Our problem is that we're spending so much more than we have. This whole thing drives me insane that this is what we, and so to my fellow gig workers, don't think you're going to get out of this, because they're going to be looking at you too going, okay, well, you know exactly how much you made in tips, so you better report it correctly.
Yeah. I mean, also, let's be honest. I mean, let's be honest. I still do in my wallet, but even on a daily basis, there really isn't a lot of this use for me. Who really spends cash anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been a decline that credit cards are on the rise, cash. But these days, I barely ever see cash pulled out. Everything's credit card.
Yep.
So, I mean, really, like it makes it that much easier for them to call you out too.
Sure.
So
that,
draw $100 out. If you go out drinking, draw $100 cash out before you go out for the night. Spend your money on your credit cards and tip your bartenders in cash. They will appreciate it.
But see, Steve, that's the problem, is the IRS is already assuming that's what people are doing.
Mm-hmm. Good for them. They're going to have to prove it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they can't make you pay for tips you didn't get, though.
This is the problem. You're missing my point here, okay? This is the problem. Yes, they can.
Like they're going to take 10 or 15% of the bill.
Yes.
Okay, you must have got that much tips.
Yes. They're going to tell you how much you made in tips, and there's not a freaking thing you can do about it.
Well, you could not. I'm not suggesting this, but I kind of am, people. You could not pay the taxes, and you could just wait for the audit and go, what? I didn't get those cash tips.
You don't want an audit.
No, nobody wants an audit, but I'm just saying, like, what is the auditor going to say during that? Well, we know you had 10 tabs for $1,000, so you must have got 150 off those.
That's
you don't know that.
But see, that's
credit cards. You don't know that.
In this law, they get to tell you. They're telling you, here's what you made.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it goes back to also what you're saying, man. Like, it's not that we don't take enough taxes, in my opinion, and I know everybody would love to agree with this too, but I honestly believe this. We take too much taxes, and they're just misused beyond belief.
Yeah. Well.
So, I mean, it's now they're looking for more ways to take taxes, and we all have to be employees. And
this gets back again to, we want everybody on a W-2 so we can track more what their income is, so we can get a bigger piece of it. It always comes back to money. Don't let anybody tell you anything. This has nothing to do with them wanting to protect you and make sure that you have paid vacation and health care. Couldn't care less at the end of the day whether or not you do. All they know is they're missing out on some tax money. At least that's what they believe, and they're going to do what they can to make sure that they're going to get it in their pocket. Everything else they say is a lie.
Tom, they also, if you remember, a lot of states, like I can say back in 2000, let's say, I remember bartender pay in Colorado, or server pay, was $2.15 an hour. This is just 2000, just 20 years ago. And bartender pay was $2.15. Server pay was $3.45 an hour. Okay. Now, if you declared all your tips in a night and you work all the good shifts and you work 40 hours in a week, you will get a paycheck that says $0.00 because it will zero it out, the tips against your pay. So what did they do? They increased those amounts up, and they hadn't done it in years. But now it's like most places are up to $10 and $9 as a bartender, even at the places you're going to make $50, $60 an hour. So now they're really going, well, we're making you pay $11 an hour to these bartenders so that we can, because you're zeroing them out, and then the correct amount of taxes aren't being paid. Okay, right. Well, that's not the solution, though.
Yeah, I think we're barely seeing the tip of this iceberg. I think the IRS is letting this out a little bit at a time. Here's some of the bad news, but I think the big slap is still coming. I think we're going to see a big slap coming in on this. And why? Part of it, Steve, goes back to the Fair Labor Act and all those other. If they make it so that you don't want to have a job with tips, that you want everything to be W-2, that they can make it so uncomfortable for those of us who drive and deliver and those kinds of things that we won't want to do it.
Why don't they just pay to move everybody over to Europe that doesn't want tips? They pay your first 3 months rent, they fly you there, and you can go live over there where they don't tip. Because here we tip.
Can I go over there for 3 months and decide I don't like it and they ship me back for free?
No, you're required to stay for 6 years.
Oh, dang.
So I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, it seems like, I think we all know where this is going. It seems like they're just ripping apart what this country's about from the foundation.
Well, yeah. We got to take a break on the radio side. We'll be back in a minute. TNCRadio.live. Stay tuned.
I gotta look at a couple of these. I saw Cherry put a comment in that said, poor people can't afford lobbyists.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So traditional IC says servers have to report more to the employer. Yeah, that's because they're making more. They're screwed. I mean, and they're still probably zeroing out, but they're making 3 times what they were, and they're still making nothing. That's the funniest part.
My point is, and I don't think I made it well, this is coming to us.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not something that's going to be just in the restaurants. We are going to feel this as
Oh my God. Look, they want to, we know, we talked about this today. And again, I want to tell everybody to go watch the piece I did today, later tonight, over the weekend, whatever. It's an hour.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Or an hour. And everybody in chat, everybody on the radio, come to Rideshare Rodeo, check it out. Listen to the piece I did with Mike Harubi. It's an hour and change. And every piece of that should matter to you. And he actually gave us some good news. So, I mean, I won't spoil it, but it's you're not going to listen to doom and gloom. It's actually fairly uplifting. I don't know if we talked about it last week. Did we talk about Marty Walsh, Tom?
I think so. That's
the Department of Labor.
Yeah.
Secretary.
No, we didn't talk about it because that was just announced on Monday.
Okay, so he is the.
Hold on. Yeah. Let's talk about that right when we come back here. 15 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back in TNCRadio.live. This is a Friday night, and this is Driver Nation. I'm Tom, along with Steve and Gary, and we're talking about all things in the gig economy. Big news coming out of Washington this week, and mixing in with news coming out of the sports world. Secretary of Labor, right?
The Secretary of Labor, Secretary.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh leaving the Biden administration, the first, and this always happens halfway through
But before you even go on, he's been the major spearhead for the PRO Act.
He has.
That was his baby. That was what he was going to have his legacy be.
Right.
With Biden.
But he has decided instead to be the head of the players union for the NHL. Now, this tells you so much.
20 times the pay.
Well, at least
$250,000 a month.
Is that right?
Yep.
It's a good paycheck.
Yeah.
So he gave up on his life ambition for a lot of money. And it was what was going to kill 60 million jobs.
Steve, I'd give up a lot for $250,000 a month.
I know, but now should we bet on when Marty Walsh goes, how long until the players strike? Because he's going to jack union fees.
Oh yeah.
I mean, first day he's going to be like, "This is what you're paying." They're going to be like, I'm not playing until that's not there."
No, they can't strike with they can't strike against the union.
Well,
they signed a CBA. They don't get paid. Yeah, they won't.
Well, re-signing people, there's going to be a lot of fallout problems. I actually happen to one of my favorite sports is hockey, so
right.
It's actually one that I probably follow the most next to baseball.
But the point is, he's leaving the government to take a private sector job, and
his whole life's been government.
And what's interesting is the undersecretary, whose name is
Sue,
S-U, apparently is so liberal that she scares Kamala Harris.
That's what we talked about on the Mike Harubi piece this week or today was that I was like, I know Sue's going to be the interim after Marty Walsh. And I said, and I read some articles that she might actually be elected in. He goes, no, there's no way that we can let this happen because she is he said she cost California. He was using the California example for when she was there. She cost California in 6 months $8.1 billion.
Dang.
Under
the Newsom administration.
Yeah, no, there's not a chance that she's going to. She will get blackballed for sure. There's not a chance, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to find somebody equally bad. But she's buried herself, so
yeah,
you don't have to worry about her. But it's in a way it's good news for us. Okay, that Walsh is out.
Oh yeah.
Whether Sue comes in or whoever comes in, they're not going to have his influence, his strength of character. This is a guy who commanded the room when he was in it. He's no pushover, and not that anybody in that job would be, but I'm just saying he's a formidable enemy, and he was our enemy, and that he is out.
And he was completely aligned with Biden.
Biden's
push for the PRO Act.
I think he's left of Biden when it comes to the PRO Act. Biden.
I don't know how you can be. You can be left of Biden on a lot, but I don't know how you can be on the PRO Act. He is all about it. He truly, still to this day, believes everybody should be a 1950s union worker. Yep.
And I think Biden has some negotiating room there. He didn't.
Yeah.
So good riddance. Enjoy hockey. We'll see what ends up happening with the NHL and the Players Union and how soon they end up in a strike that he leads them into. I think that's the bigger question, Steve. Isn't the players revolting against him? He's going to lead the players up and basically say we should be paid like the NFL, even though they don't have anything near.
I would like to see him walk out onto a practice on an ice at some arena. They're giving him a tour, and just like somebody's like, "Dude, I'm gonna put him in the wall."
Put him in the wall.
And just really shoulder it and everything. Get all the charges, whatever, man.
Players are gonna love him, man. They're gonna love him.
Yeah.
But he's probably never even been to a hockey game.
I was gonna say, man, I'm guessing this guy he doesn't even know the rules.
Nor does he care.
Oh, he's making $250,000 a month.
Yeah, his job is to get the most money as possible from out of the owner's pockets and into the players' pockets, and they made a great hire in bringing him in because that's what he's good at.
And they made a great hire for us because it took him out of play.
That's the thing is, I'm relieved, a little bit nervous about. Could they put somebody in there who's just as bad? It's hard to imagine anyone who would be just as bad, but I'm glad he's not there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So we'll have to watch that one. But even if they identified a person and put him through the process and everything, this is what, February? We're talking summer before they get in, and then it takes another few months to kind of establish yourself and figure out who you are on it. So a lot of things about the PRO Act that I was worried about for this year are likely to get stalled out without a leader in the administration who's going to be pushing it.
Right. Yeah. That's weird. Again, I don't want to give away too much, but Tom, I'm even going to, if you want to, please play the piece I did on the radio.
Okay, great.
With Mike. Because
speaking of which, tell me about this thing you're doing on the 22nd.
So that's Kim Cavan and Karen Anderson. So we got Kim Cavan in New Jersey, Karen Anderson in California. Karen Anderson is the leading fighter of AB5, and she runs the largest Facebook group that is professional writers and attorneys. And they are daily working to destroy AB5. Mm-hmm. And there's about 140,000 active or 130,000 active on our Facebook group. It's very, I mean, she's all day, she's busy with this. And then we're going to have Kim Cavan, who is... I know who the people are. Is this going to be a round table? Is this going to be... it's going to be the three of us.
Okay.
We're going to be discussing, well, I don't want to give away too much because some of it we're still working on, but we're going to be discussing basically independent contractorship, but also like, I guess like self-employment in 2023. And it's going to be kind of a follow-up piece to what Mike and I talked about today. Do
you think it would be appropriate, everybody gets to listen in on this part of the conversation, would it be appropriate for me to cancel our regular programming that day and carry that live on TNC Radio?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think the truckers would?
Oh, man.
Out of it?
Yeah. These are the people that really get their hands dirty, too.
Okay.
That are really doing the right things for independent contractors. So, yes, this was...
Yeah, send me over that. I saw you had some social media stuff on it already. Send that over to me, and I'm going to go ahead and announce that, get that out there. We've got some...
The 22nd at 3 p.m. your time. So Wednesday.
Which would be perfect. How long is it going to last?
An hour 15.
Okay. We may go live right after that with a trucker roundtable talking about what we think we heard.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can tell the truckers to please come join in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Or you can bring their questions into the chat.
Right. Yeah. Let me figure out
we can figure out something there because the more eyes on it, the better. These ladies, normally they know each other all too well, but they don't get together even on the two of them to do things like this. And I brought them together on a round table with 5 people. I've never had just the two of them. I'm very much looking forward to this piece.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I am too. I think it's important, and I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say. And I want to make sure that, another large group of independent contractors who are concerned about the same things, which is the trucking community. It doesn't matter whether you drive DoorDash or an 18-wheeler. At the end of the day, you get the same problem when it comes to the government and W-2 versus 1099 and all that kind of stuff. So, if I have, and I think I do have plenty of time to announce it, get it out there and get people, because, a lot of drivers in the afternoons, that's the primary time for them to be listening. And so I think we can get a pretty good.
It'll be a very quick moving discussion too. Like people won't want to take their attention off it. I've had these ladies on independently, one-on-one with them. I've had them on the one round table with 5 people, but these 2 ladies together and me and the way we're going to work this is going to go real quick with a lot of information.
Excellent.
So,
okay.
Are we at a commercial break here?
No, I got a cup. Actually, yes, I am going to do that. Let's go ahead and take a break because I skipped the last one. So I'll do that now, and we'll come back and wrap things up here on TNCRadio.live. Stay tuned.
Hey, Cherry, thanks for the super sticker chat, whatever it is. Appreciate that. And guys, we'll be back in just 2 seconds after we literally make you in pain watch the Maximo ad.
Meet Joe. He is a gig worker trying to make money using his car. He uses multiple gig apps all at the same time to maximize his earnings. But this can be difficult and dangerous while driving. Sometimes the requests come in so fast, Joe can't pick and choose the best trips to take, which can result in lower pay or lower rated disruptive passengers. That was until Joe found Maximo, the automation app that helps gig workers accept and decline trip requests. Maximo will use the filters set by Joe, like time, distance, and rating, to determine which trips are best suited for Joe. When a trip request comes in, Joe doesn't need to worry. Maximo will compare the trip details to Joe's filters and then determine if it should automatically accept the trip, decline the trip, or allow Joe to decide by showing the per mile and per minute rates. When a trip has been accepted, Maximo will turn off the other apps that aren't on a trip. Once Joe finishes a trip, Maximo will turn everything back on. This will allow Joe to reduce his stress and frustration, drive safe, and focus on the important tasks. Check out Maximo at www.maximoapp.com.
We still got a minute?
Minute 13, minute 45.
So Bud Soda, I see. First of all, how you doing, Bud Soda? Haven't seen you in a minute. I know I've texted with you, but I see the coming after $600 was a direct attack on us. I haven't looked through everything, guys, but if you don't, I think you would already know, Bud Soda, but that has been delayed. That is not happening this year. The IRS, right before New Year's or Christmas or something, I can't remember which it was like, well, we're not ready for that. Even after 3 months of saying it was going to happen. So that's a win. And then I needed to laugh at Cherry's comment because I saw he said Bud Soda. I was in UDM's disorder today.
Disorder.
I know he means Discord, but that's pretty good, man. And then I see pay taxes on it, Steve. Pay taxes on what? I do pay my taxes.
Oh, you want to tell them about your special guest on Thursday?
Oh, you're not going to be there, are you?
Nope.
Oh yeah, on Thursday for the roundtable this coming week we have Sergio. We've had him on here. I've done things with Sergio independently, but it's going to be interesting because he's been asking to come on to the roundtable. He likes the whole group. I totally, when he said it, I forgot that Gary was gone because I know he's going to want Gary to be there too because he's like, I really like all you guys when you're talking together, and I'm like, yeah. But I will point out that it makes me happy about bringing some guests back on. Not every week. Some weeks it'll just be the team, but you guys, we've had a pause on that for a while. And, maybe at least one a month or two a month or something. We're going to have some guests and they're going to always be ones you want to see. So that's it.
All right. 20 seconds here before we go back on. And we're going to take it all the way to the top.
So we're going to do the opposite of lift.
Well, we'll still be here next week. No guarantees about lift.
I said Tuesday.
3, 2, 1. Alrighty, welcome back in. Final segment of TNCRadio.live's Driver Nation. I'm Tom Kelly with TNC Radio. We've got Gary with Rideshare Rodeo. I'm sorry, we got Gary with Gary's Apps and Steve with Rideshare Rodeo. Sorry, guys, on a Friday night, I'm burnt, and it's starting to show. So, real quick, Steve, tell us what you got going on with Rideshare Rodeo this coming week.
Yeah, so I mean, there's kind of a schedule with Rideshare Rodeo. So first of all, go to ridesharerodeo.com. That's where we all get all this news from on Thursday for this show. And yeah, we bring some other things in from other places, but really, guys, all of you could go there every day and be pretty blown away at what every day's post has. You're gonna find some interesting articles, but it also has links to all the social media. On the Rideshare Rodeo audio podcast, finally moving back to the audio podcast being its own thing. We've been doing a lot of crossover from the YouTube, but now the two might be independent of each other. So because the audio podcast has a different feel, so you guys check that out. And as far as the things I'm doing on YouTube, we do the We do Thursday roundtable. We do Friday, the Driver Nation. We do Saturday. I drop 13 minutes of gig news. Everybody seems to like that one. I'm glad. And all creators, if you could help me push that, that's one thing I'm trying to really push out there. So share it, do anything. I would really appreciate it, because I think that a lot of people don't see it in the home feed, and I think that we need to get up there.
Yeah, Steve, you still owe me a quick script on that. Remember, you're going to write something up that I was going to have Bill read for you, about some stuff, that you do on a weekly basis that we can put in there and just run as part of our imagers. Cool. And we've talked about Gary's apps, but Gary, without putting you on the spot this time, to start from scratch, how can people find more about you?
Yeah, Gary'sApps.com. We always forget the .com on there for some reason. We just say Gary's Apps. But yeah, Gary'sApps.com. It's got all sorts of apps for gig workers, help them drive safer, be more efficient, auto accept, auto decline orders, things of that nature.
I was going to say, you need to start using somehow use the wording of control your earnings.
Yeah.
Somehow. I'm not saying that's it, but there's something in there. Controlling I think that's a good plug for your apps.
Yeah. If nothing else, controlling your income.
Yeah, something. Just I think that controlling is a good word for your apps. Because you said it. You put yourself in control.
Gary'sApps.com. You can control your income.
But it won't file your taxes for you.
But it won't file your taxes.
I'm posting this now in the YouTube channel. This is a link to Facebook, and we've got a group out there called the Truckers Safety Info Group. And you're thinking, why do I care? Because of the kinds of things that's going on, even right now, since right before the show started earlier today, a semi crashed into one of the bridges on I-75 in Ohio, and I-75 is a mess through the Toledo area and through Ohio. And we keep up with all the major weather events, all the major storms. And every day, starting yesterday, we have a look around weather through the entire nation, and we tie that back into traffic issues, those kinds of things. So what I'd also love is y'all are certainly invited to come on and say, and we only really care about the big interstates and those kinds of things. But if you're aware of a major problem in your community, I-25, Steve, is going to be closed for the next 4 hours because of a fatality accident or something like that. Come post it out here and let the truckers know what's going on so they can make alternative plans. And you don't have to be a trucker to participate here. We're just we've got this put together for them. Have well over 6,000 members already, and want you guys to we're all drivers, we're all facing the same thing out there on the road. So sharing information, especially about the major arteries, is something we think's pretty important. So,
question: if people post something on Twitter and tag you in it, will you pull it over to there? Because some people aren't active on Facebook or whatever. So like whatever they use, Can they tag you Insta, Twitter, absolutely. Or whatever? Okay.
Yeah, we do that all the time. Yeah, we're on the big ones: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Mm-hmm. I don't do anything with TikTok, and understand my audience. TikTok's mostly a visual thing. My audience is driving. I don't really want to make this a thing that they have to sit there and look for 30 seconds or they miss it. 30 seconds going down the highway. That's not what we want 80,000-pound vehicles to be doing. We want them to watch the road, not TikTok. So I don't do much with that kind of stuff.
Especially driving something that big.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize that, the semi-truck is usually carrying about the same weight as a 2-bedroom apartment.
Right. So you don't want that coming up on your Pinto.
Well, and you wouldn't cut off a 2-bedroom apartment driving down the road, but people cut off trucks all the time.
Yeah.
The other big thing going on in the world of trucking this week too is continued pressure now to look at adding speed limiters and automatic braking systems to trucks. both of which are very bad ideas. Imagine if every semi in America could suddenly not go more than 60 or 65 miles an hour. You think you're frustrated now? If they were all limited to not being able to go. And also think if you could force a truck to slam on its brakes, not that any 16-year-old kid has ever done anything immature, but if you get in front of a truck and slam on your brakes and force the truck to slam on his brakes, and maybe you can even get him to jackknife, wouldn't that be funny? Ha, ha, ha. So this idea that we're going to automate the world and make everything safer for people and take control of the truck out of the hands of the people who are driving it doesn't seem like a real bright idea, but there's a big push for it right now in a certain branch of the government.
If I know we've all seen it. If you say you haven't, okay. But remember, guys, also when you're on the highway and you're behind a truck, if you can't see their rear views, it's no joke. They can't see you.
Well, there's entire YouTube channels now dedicated to people who purposefully cut in front of trucks, slam on their brakes, get hit by the truck, and then sue the truck driver.
Yep.
And all he was doing was just driving down the road.
Exactly.
And fortunately,
or road rage people who get mad at a truck.
Did you see that yesterday? A guy, first he throws a basket of fruit at the truck, and then he shot the truck 11 times.
Holy crap.
And told the people on 911 that he just wanted the trucker to know that he had cut him off.
Where did he shoot?
Oh, the thing is riddled. It's through the windshield.
He was trying to shoot the driver?
Yes.
So that's how he wanted to let him know?
Yes, he shot multiple times through.
I'm going to kill him and let him know that.
Yeah, multiple times through the bunk in the back. They have sleepers in the back. Shot multiple times through. There must have been 11 holes there. But he also shot up the windshield and the side window and all that kind of stuff. Look, I know they tick you off sometimes, but good grief! Yeah. Really, we're gonna shoot and kill them because you think they cut you off?
And even if they did, give them a little love anyway.
You have to know that 95% of the time, they don't know they cut you off.
Right.
They have a 53-foot trailer. They have no clue that they cut you off. They're just trying to get from point A to point B with their cargo without hurting you or anybody else. That they cut you off or that they're going too slow or whatever.
And if they did, tough, guys, just roll with it. It's a truck. It's very hard to stop.
You don't need to shoot them.
You don't need to shoot anybody. And what's up with the fruit? Why did he throw the fruit at him first?
I think it was I forget what he threw at him first. He threw something at him and to let him know he was upset. And when the driver, there's no response. I don't know I guess he wanted him to stop or something. But when there was no response to that, he started shooting him.
Unbelievable.
And he's calling 911. He's on the phone with 911 saying, yeah, I'm shooting at this truck because he cut me off.
So he called 911.
Yes.
I hope they are dealing with him properly.
They're investigating the entire thing. So
they're not going to get their TP if they keep shooting at truck drivers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All right, we got 2 minutes. How you guys want to wrap this up?
In a small box with a nice bow.
Oh, isn't that sweet? You're so sweet. Hey, thank you all very much for listening in tonight on the radio side. We really appreciate it. All of our friends there on YouTube, great to see all of you. And, we appreciate that you're checking in on I'm sorry, I just looked at this. Always cherry pick. What? No fat truckers dancing on TikTok? Sorry, bro.
You probably could, Cherry. You could probably go to TikTok and find them.
I'm sure there are, and that's not to say some of my hosts don't have some things going on there. So srqshrink.com and TikTok. You can find him out there. He does good stuff. So we got lots of good things going on with our shows right now, and looking forward to having you all back in here with us next week. Last word, Gary.
Gary'sApps.com.
Gary'sApps.com. Steve.
You guys, my last word is go to TNCRadio.live sometime this weekend and listen to 15, 20, 30 minutes while you're driving.
Hey, tomorrow morning,
just try something.
Tomorrow morning, we're talking about fishing and golf and cars. Just like most people tomorrow morning will be working on their car, or going fishing, or playing golf. And then we've got Rideshare, not Rideshare. It's legal radio. So that's a fun show that comes on Saturday.
Try it Sunday. Try it Monday. Try it Tuesday.
Sunday morning, we've got Truckers Church. So jump in with us on Truckers Church. So all of that available to you right here on TNCRadio.live. We are out of here.
Later, guys. Peace.